It's BANLIST time, everybody. BANLIST is out, so let's go look into the list. Let's see what has happened. I saw a lot of changes because I was just scrolling on Twitter, of course, and then there it was, the BANLIST. Just let's look it up. I'm very excited. I just saw what happened, so let's go take a look what changed. I'll be just throwing most of the names on the side so we can look at the card ourselves if we don't know what the card does. Okay, so I don't care. Okay, was limited cybertime is finally banned. Okay, I will put him up. I know cybertime is the card, but this card was no good. This card should have been banned a long time ago. It's just a toxic card. He is searchable. If you search him when you're going first, you can pay 5,000 life points. Put on an Omni Negation or something else that is very annoying. No, thank you. And definitely in this era, oh, it's a little bit too small, I guess. But definitely in this era, it's annoying. With the links, you can even link it away so you don't even really get the 700 attack point monster on your field if you didn't special and you just normal summoned him. This card should be banned. Good job, Konami. By the way, before I go further, I didn't actually think we needed a ban list. To be fair, I didn't care. I like this meta. I like playing this meta. I like this. This is the best meta I've ever had. So the ban list wasn't necessary for me. I would rather look at what this next set has brought us of decks, and maybe also bring those cards back on here. But we will see. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. So are there more banned cards? Are there more banned cards? It doesn't look like it. Oh, there's a new one. Super heavy. This is the Link 1, right? Yes. Interesting. It's just it's just an extender. So they just removed their Link 1 extender. Interesting. I don't really know how this deck completely works, but this card was mostly used for or more extension, or you just summon a monster, or you have a monster summon that comes from your back row. They have negated a lot, and then you do this and then go into your further combos. I think this is a very interesting ban. But I don't feel this card will be on the ban list for a long time. But we will see. I don't think this is a bad ban. I think, like I said, it's just for if they use everything, they just blink and play further. So interesting. Do they have banned more for the Super Heavy Samurai? They bring out new support and they ban it. Sure. And there he is, the mind hacker. Yes, sir. So no more, or it will be harder for Kashira to lock your whole board. Turn one. This was a cancerous card. Wasn't a fun card. This card deserved to be on here. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, god damn it. This card deserved to be on here. Nobody liked the card. It's way too easy to make. You can look at your opponent's extra deck. You can snatch one out of it. Then you can lock two zones. Don't. Okay. This is a great ban. Everybody knew this card would have been banned. There's no special things about it. So yeah, nothing special. Next up for the ban list, I hope Polish Grease, but I'm not going to look, was limited. A pointer of the Red Lotus is banned. Okay. Yeah. There's nothing much to say. This card should have been banned a long time ago in a galaxy far away. As soon as he went from 3 to 1, this ban. I don't think this was a necessary ban. 0% it was a necessary ban, but it's just a kind of a toxic card. There are more toxic cards, but we will see. I saw more cards where unlimited. Yes. Let's go. Oh. Hey. Hey. Let's go. Woo. Okay. Enough dancing. Branded Expulsion is gone. What people were at my locals? They say, "Oh, just ban the monster." Don't ban this card. Yeah, good job, bro. Let me play Gimmick Puppet, okay? Even though the card wasn't used, I can see. But to bring it just a bit back and not be happy, this card is toxic. It's searchable. It is also way too searchable. You know, that is the problem with this card. There will always be cards like Brass Disciple that you don't want banned. You don't want Gimmick Puppets banned. You don't want the other card banned that also locks you into, I think, Dark Summonings. You don't want people to play the Barrier Statues, the Dark or the Light one. This card was just way too toxic. This card should have been banned. Luckily, it is banned. Um, People can say things, just ban one of those toxic cards, but then people will play the other ones, even though they are not that great. It's not fun, it's not interactive, it's just the same as Skill Drain, for instance. Skill Drain also should have been hit to an extent, same like all the other Floodgate cards, but this card was definitely one of the hardest cards to play around. They just search it, and you can't do this shit. This wasn't fun. It was just not. So let's get to the. Are there more? Are there more? Are there more? Are there more? There are not more. But are cards unbanned? Oh, let's go. Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully. Because this is the limited. So everything here is at one. Was forbidden. Blaster Dragon Ruler Inferno. People were saying that this card should have been unbanned a long, long time ago. But this is a Dragon Ruler card. I don't know about the Dragon Rulers. So I can't give you anything tips on it because I didn't play Yu-Gi-Oh at the time. I heard this was a strong card, while the Dragon Rulers were strong cards because there was something with them. I have never played these cards. I can't give you much to talk about, but maybe I can just read it. I just can't. There's just nothing I can do. There's just nothing I can do to give you something great for it. So let's go to. But an unban. I love unban. Yes, I love unbans. I want as less of cards unbanned from the list as possible, because I want more playable decks. I want more cards. Um, Even though they are toxic-esque cards, maybe they can come off because they were back in the day they were toxic, but now it's way too easy to play around them, of course, and such. But that's a good. I love unbans. Are there more? Are there more? Are there more? Are there more? I still see Dark. I still see Danger Jackalope and Chinoku Cyberjar. Nobody cares. Cyberjar could be a new one that is limited. So it was at 3, and that is Mathmax Circular. Ooh, for the people that don't know Mathmax, this was like the one card combo into an access code. So this card was a free win. By him not being banned, I don't think he's still searchable. This is crazy. This is a great limit. I don't think there's anyone crying about it at the moment. I think this card deserves to be limited. This card is a plus 10. Like I said, this is the OTK. Your opponent can have every hand trap in the game plus this card, and they will easily win. Imper, Drawn Lockbird, Ash Blossoms, maybe Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. This card was too crazy. Him at 1, he is still playable, he is still searchable, he is still very strong, but he's just less likely to be seen in your hand and or decks. So I think that was a great one. Scythe? No shot, dude. No shot. What? Why? No, this is a joke. This is a joke. Whoa. Okay, I did not see this coming. I did not see this coming. Why? Why? This is so crazy to me. Is this also an on-field effect? Nee, it's when you. Wow, I'm really excited to listen to all the other people that have to say something about this. Really, I can't believe my eyes. I just don't believe it. Sorry, I have no idea. I can tell you some things because this card just stops a lot of monsters. It gives you 2 monsters on your field if you use it in your own turn or your opponent's turn. It can be a big, it can be a lot. this card makes it so you can have some hand looping for your opponent if you're going first. I just don't know for sure. I don't know for sure. I'm gonna say it. I don't know for sure. I don't know why you actually would do this to this card, but they did it. Interesting. I'm very excited to people at my locals what they say about it. Really, really excited. So are there more monsters? Say please yes. Maybe that are unbanned. The Telements, I see them still on here. Good job, good job. Okay. Link. That's the only link. Was forbidden. Okay, I don't know this card. I do not know this card. Interesting. Let me read this card. I don't know about this card. I think this it says Yang Xing, so I think it will be a Sword Soul card. But 5/5 is pretty hard. Let me read this card for a second. Okay, so I've read this card. I think this card is strong. I don't know if there was a kind of a lock on this. There has to be something strong about this card. It is a send a wormholes from deck to grave that can be strong. Yeah, that is a very strong effect. I like this card being unbanned. I want to play the Yang Xing cards. So this will definitely something I will look into. But those cards are pretty expensive still. But I'm very excited. I'm very excited about what will happen here. The Xyz, Beatrice. Oh, Kastira Risehard. You did not. You, in my opinion, you did not do the deck this dirty. But sure, I guess yeah. There's nothing much to say. I think it was coming. Yeah, sure. For the people that don't know, this card was the Castera card. This was the boss monster. This card is a kind of a floodgate. Every card sent to the grave is banished instead. So it triggers cards they have. Every time a card is activated, or yes, every time a card is activated, you can attach a card from the graveyard or banished to this card. And when you can detach 3 to banish a card face down. So it does a lot for the archetype. Him being at 1, I personally did not view it was necessary. Castira is not that strong of a deck. It is strong, it is one of the top tier decks, but it's not. I think the Mind Hacker was just a toxic one. But this card can make the archetype balance. I do not think this is a bad limit. I think this is a great limit, but it was not necessary for me. So are there more spell cards? Please, more spell cards. Call by the Grave still at 1. Card destruction still at 1. Ooh, card of command. Come on. Is there anything interesting? Interesting. Come on. I'm very excited. Will there be anything? Monster Reborn still at 1. Oh, Pearly card is it. Let's go. Pearly card is it. Pearly card is it. It is a Pearly Delicious Memory. This card was very insane. This card, if you saw that 3, you wanted that 3. And now, when you certain cards in the Pearly archetype lets you reveal 3 cards to your opponent, and your opponent chooses one of those cards. So now your opponent is not able to show you 3 of these cards, this card, and now he has to do something else. So, yep, nothing much to say. Great card. Great. This is a great limit. Nothing much to say. This is a decent hit against Pearly. Pearly is a very strong deck. This will just be a consistency hit and a hit for how long the deck will be fighting against another deck. So I don't feel sad about it at all. Are there any more cards? Oh, that was it. A trap card. Naturia Sacred Tree. Yeah, sure. This is I would never, ever have seen this card to be limited. But let's just say, yes, thank you for limiting this card. What this card says is when this card, I think, is sent to the graveyard, you can just add a Naturia card from your deck to your hand. That is what it just literally says. And that is what only is used for when it's sent to the graveyard to add a Naturia monster. I think this is a perfect ban, or limit, sorry. This is a perfect limit. There is nothing much to say. I want to say there is zero thing. There is zero purpose, sorry. There is nothing much to say. Yes, I think this is a great limit. Yep. This way your opponent just can't send a lot and draw or search a lot. I think it wasn't necessary. I'm gonna say that too. I don't think it was necessary at all, but it's just still a little bit of it. a little bit of a hit that against card that can be toxic or can be quite frustrating is still a great thing. Are there more trap cards? Limited. That was it. Times two. Come on, you could have done times two. Okay. 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 Are there any cards semi-limited? The problem. Was limited. Was limited. Herald of Orange Light. Let's go. Okay. Okay. This card for the people that don't know, Drytron didn't really need it, but it's still something else. Maybe I can do it in my €1.40 deck because this card is still 2 cents. But yep, there is nothing much to say. It's just a hand trap for fairy monsters. I like this card. It's just a monster negation, monster effect negation. Sorry. So nothing much to say. It is a great card. But I saw one here. I saw one here. A new one. Kashtira Unicorn. Unicorn at 2. It is just hitting consistency of the Kashtira archetype. There's nothing much to say. There's nothing much to say. I really actually say about it. It is just a consistency hit. Kashtira is still a strong deck. I don't think there's nothing much to say. I rather would have seen Kashtira Fenrir because Fenrir can be splashed in every deck. But well, Unicorn was the strongest option indeed. A new spell card, Lightning Storm. No way, dude. No shot. No shot. Oh my god. No shot. Oh my god. What the fuck? Why? What? Why? I know why. Just hitting the consistency of this card is very strong. I think this is a very great limit. This card can be perceived as very toxic. This card is amazing at being semi-limited. I did not really see the reason for it, but let me just say that semi-limiting this card is a great. I just realized something, by the way. Oh my god, I don't know. Shut. Okay, maybe not, maybe not. Maybe I just overlooked. Okay, but Lightning Storm, when we have cards like Harpy's Feather Duster at 1, when we have Raigeki at 3, this card is very unnecessary to keep at 3. I rather would have seen maybe some limits on Raigeki, but this card is a Raigeki and a Harpy's Feather Duster. So, I at 2, I don't think it serves much purpose to have it at 2. But it will just be less duplicates in my hand. So there's nothing to say. I don't really mind. Okay, Destiny Malicious. I was looking at that. Okay, I maybe thought he was there was something happening. Nothing. Oh, Runic Fountain. Okay, I saw this one already on the Twitter because people were talking about it. People in Runic says you only mostly play 2, you don't play 3. This card is not that great at 3. It is good, but people mostly play that 2 because that's just enough because it's so searchable. Rather people would have seen it at 2, but it is what it is. And I think Runic Tip is the next one. Let me just see. Was limited. Nope. In Gage, oh my god, Sajan, my boy, he's gonna love this. This guy at my locals, Sajan, he's been playing Sky Strikers for a lot, and he wanted Engage to be at 3, but at least it's at 2 right now. So personally, I didn't feel to have Sky Strikers become meta again. I think the deck was fair, but people maybe want to make Sky Strikers a bit more competitive, which is fine by me if they want to invent it or semi-limited this card. Sure, I think limited was just still amazing, but I don't mind it at all. That card was, by the way, Engage. For the people that don't know, this card is just a search for every card and then a draw if you have 3 Sparkers in the graveyard, which is pretty strong. Okay, but it is ashable nowadays, like Ash in the format, so it's not that awful to have it back at 2. And Sprite Starter, yeah, sure. Sprite Starter is a very strong card. I would rather have seen this card at 1 than 2, because even at 2 there is still a bunch of replayability for the grind game. So for the long game at 2, but it's still something. But to be fair, it being at 2 is very much appreciated in my mind because of the fact that we still have. Apparently, I didn't see a ban on how is it called again? Evenly matched or a limit on even match or a semi-limited. So this card plays around evenly matched. So I still think this card being at 2 is amazing. Then for the unbanned part, oh my god, if you look right in the corner, we still have a little bit to go. What will it be? Oh, Blackwing, yeah. Steam the Cloak. Sajan, that guy I was talking about earlier, he also doesn't play this card anymore, so there's nothing. No Polydesize, by the way! No! Polydesize can be at 3, but at 2 I don't mind. But Blackwing Steam the Cloak, this card is no longer play this card. It doesn't do anything. So there's nothing much to say. If for people that want to know, here's a card. I asked my boy Sajan what he thought of Steam the Cloak being unbanned because it was also unbanned in the OCG, and he said I don't play this card at all, even at 1. So there you have it. There you have it, homeboy. Okay, next up, next up. What? Gen X Ally Bridman. Yeah, okay. I feel this card. Um. Uh, I don't wanna. Okay, sure. I don't wanna. This card, I've never understand why this card was banned. Maybe because in Dark World, when you have it in your hand, when you play this the feud spell, you can bounce back the feud spell, play the feud spell again. Sure, I guess, right? Because it's a face-up monster to the end. I have no idea. Sorry, I have no idea. I can't talk about this card. I think sure, return it. I don't think this card is that great. I'm just thinking still of it. Maybe something. Maybe other YouTubers will say something about it. I just don't know much about this card. Okay, I don't think nobody cared. Okay. So next up is Samara Lotus. This card was forbidden. I don't know anything about this card. Oh, it's just a token maker. This card, if I'm not mistaken, during your end phase, if you control no spell trap cards, you can special summon this card from your graveyard in a phase of attack position. This card's controller takes them during each of their standby phases. Wait, this card doesn't do anything. Why was this card ever unbanned? Or even banned at all? I have no idea. Okay, no idea. What is the next card? What is the next card? I'm excited. Spiral Quick Fix. Interesting. This card was limited. I have one player that plays Spiral. It's just a searcher, right? Yeah, and it's not once per turn. So if you find some ways to special summon this card, which it has 500 attack, so with machine duplication, this card, and it's a machine card, so this card can be spun out of control with very easily. But we will see. Maybe it doesn't do anything. I've never played Spiral or played against Spirals, but this will definitely see the deck, I think, a bit more play. But I don't know what is more bent with Spiral because I've never played the deck. So for the last card, or maybe one of the last cards, is Lyrilusk. Oh yeah, it went from 2 to 3. People, I don't even think people played at 3, or yeah, I don't think people played 3. I think with this meta, in this type of Yu-Gi-Oh, your action deck is so clubbed up that we don't need this card. We don't. I think 3 is just way too much. Maybe you want to play 3 in how is it called? That bird deck, Fluan de Reese, to make more Zeuses if you find some way to stall, and there's nothing. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. Draco face off. I've never played Draco Futures, so um, I think nobody really. I don't think people care. Maybe Triff will tell you something about this Pendulum Zone card, but I don't think it will do much for Pendulum cards. Pendulum decks are the worst archetype. I feel like maybe besides Ritual, but Ritual has a lot of support, so it depends. I don't know. I don't think it does much. It maybe it does something, right? But I don't know Draco Slayers that. But hey, every card that isn't banned is a win in my book. And there's more. There's more. There's more. Sky Striker Mecha Monsters was limited. What does this card do again? Interesting. My friend Sajan only plays this card at 1. I would like to know what he thinks of this card being 3. I think 3 is way too much. Or no, this card is not even once per turn. No. That's only during end phase. No, it is once per turn. So I don't think this card at 3, maybe at 2, but I don't think at 3 it does much. But I just don't feel this card to be that great. Because seeing the more of it, you don't want that. I don't know yet. I don't know. I don't think it does much for the deck. More. What do we have more? Multi-roll is the last card. Oh, this is just it's just the same name. Okay. So what I think? I think the ban is amazing. I love more cards being unbanned. I love the more limited cards. Or limited, sorry. I still don't know why Pot of Desire is on here. Be My Boy, even at 3, it's bad. But there are some cards that I would have loved to see more at semi-limited, like Time Seal. It is another card that does much. Spellbook of Judgment is, I think this card is pretty fine at 1. Set Rotation is also a card that maybe could have played at 2 because at 1 it's not even played, so maybe you can bring it back at 2. But I can see why it is at 1. It's just too toxic, right? Into the Voids, same thing. That's just OTK material. Why would you ever actually have it at 1? Mind Control, that's a fair one. Yeah. Arbitrators is all fine. Consequence all. These cards are all fine being at 1. Final Counter, I still don't know why would you ever play this card at, why would you ever have this card at 1? Well, I actually know because of the fact that it is kind of toxic. The only reason you play this card is in a toxic deck, so the less you see of this card, the better, I guess, right? Are there any more interesting card destruction? I would have loved to see Quite the Grave and card destruction in different spaces, but it is what it is. All these cards, the tier limit cards, stay on there forever and ever. Okay. It's maybe fun playing the deck. It was not fun not playing the deck. I personally think all the Exodia pieces, just remove them. But if you remove them, it becomes toxic, and we don't want toxic decks, right? I still think all the cards here are. There's a reason why these cards are here. I don't think any of these cards should be unbanned for the trap cards, at least. For the spell cards, same thing. I would have loved to see Pot of Greed unbanned, but it's just too strong of a card. Just draw 2. Come on. This is all the Zodiacs cards. I would have loved to see the Zodiacs card. Definitely Trident at 1. I don't care about Broadbull. Maybe just keep him banned. Unban Trident. I don't feel this card, this deck to be, or this card to be that strong. But it is what it is. Mind Hacker, that's great. Are there any other cards? I think most of the cards that are banned here are banned for a good reason. I still don't feel this one, but like I said, I can understand. Ban this card. Let's go. These two are very toxic, bro. They should have definitely unbanned or at least limited Prank Kids Meow Meow Meow. Like, hello, there's no reason for it. There is no reason that this card should be on. There is just actually no reason. All the other link cards are toxic, so yeah, there's nothing much to say. Thunder Dragon Colossus, yeah, just keep it there. It isn't fun and interactive card. People are crying about Troll Logbird, so why would you ever make this card? We don't talk about this card. Are they interesting? Personally, I don't mind Maxi at all. But if you bring back Maxi, you need to play 3 Ash, right? You need to play Call by the Grave, so you need to play 3 Ash Maxi yourself. You need to play Crosser Designator, so it just puts a lot of junk in your deck for just 1 card. So just better ban it, right? I think Vibrajar should be gone back. I think it's I think it's way too slow. These 2 cards always just keep them banned. Cyberstein, I'm very happy for Cyberstein. Block Dragon, state banned. Yes. Artifact side, same. I think all of it. I think this ban list was amazing. There's nothing much bad to say about the ban list. Thank you all for watching. Leave it down below in the comments. What did you think about the ban list? What did you like? What did you didn't like? Is there anything you would have seen added to it? And please give a reason why you would have seen added to it. If you say skill drain, I don't think you need to explain it. I think I know it. Thank you all for watching and have a nice day.